Hello from Whitehaven on the shore of the Irish Sea, where 100 hardcore endurance athletes are about to set off on a multi-sport event that will take them from here on the west coast of England right the way across the country to Robin Hood's Bay on the east coast.
Over 4 days of competition, they will kayak as well as swim, bike and run. But unlike any triathlon, they'll also be racing over some of Britain's most spectacular and gruelling terrain. Bruce Duncan was second in the solo section in 2009. This time, he's opted for the team event.
It's a full-on race, 5 or 6 hours racing each day and good rest overnight. So it's eyeballs out every day. I was second last time by a couple of minutes, so definitely want to go one better this year and racing in a team. Very strong team, I think we've definitely got a chance to do that.
The second member of Team Adidas TERREX is former adventure racing world champion Nicola McLeod, who was also in last year's victorious team. Olympic rower James Cracknell is the third and final member, and although he's competed in many triathlons and extreme adventures of his own, this kind of racing with rough terrain and navigation is new to him.
You're not dealing in a sterile environment here, you're dealing with the Lake District, and you've got to make the right decisions at the right time, and I think that's on top of obviously being fit and getting the best out of yourself. The appeal of it is, yes, it's stage racing, but also there's kayaking, running, cycling and swimming today, and so you can do all of those things. Having said that, I am avoiding the sea kayak in our team. I thought I'll just be ready for the biking, but it's a great way to see the country and to get across.
Me and Nicola, we've done this a lot. We know how to do these kind of races, so it's a bit of a learning curve for James. We've got him in because he is a top-class athlete. He's really raring to go for it. He's got the skills that we need to give us the advantage over the other teams, hopefully. Team Accelerator, the other team that are out there, Matt and Dan Halliday, 2 little whippets on foot. They're pretty swift. There's not much to them as well, and both good pedigree from orienteering. So they're the only other team that really we're worried about. But I think with the bike sections and the kayak sections in, we've got enough to just get the edge over them.
Team Accelerate might disagree because this is where the tactics come in. The race consists of 17 stages, and on each one, the teams only need to use 2 people. They will save Maria Leerstam for the bike and kayak stages, while Dan and Matt Halliday will try to blow the opposition away on the mountains.
I think inevitably the Adidas guys are going to be quicker in the boats, but Matt and I both come from running backgrounds, and hopefully that's where we can put some time into the competition. We'll give it our best shot, but 4 days is a long time and a lot can happen. But we're here to be competitive, so we'd like to think that we'll give them a run for their money. You don't put all the training in for an event like this to let a bit of pain kind of hold you back.
Day 1 covers 35 miles, and like most of this race, will not take the direct route from one coast to the other. Before heading inland on bike and on foot, there's a sea kayak stage that makes no progress across the country at all, as it heads down the coast from Whitehaven to St Bees.
We're doing an adventure race!
The event is open to all comers, and competitors range from enthusiasts to professionals. Gathering at the start in Whitehaven Harbour are 17 mixed teams, 5 female solos and 22 male solos, of which Anthony Emmett is one of the most experienced.
The sprinting format is really hard, and it's great for people who are super fit. And because it's so long, the competitors, it's not like triathlon where the competitors are really gunning against each other, because it's a 4-day race and you're going to be seeing and chatting to the people for a long time. So it's really friendly and it's tough, and so everyone digs deep together.
New Zealander Stuart Lynch is leading the men's category and the entire fleet early on, taking just 52 minutes to paddle the 7 miles down the coast to the first transition. There, he can receive assistance from his support crew, which is vital to make a quick change over to his bike and stay ahead of rivals like Emmett, second to land here. With Bruce and Nicola on the paddles, Adidas TERREX have a fast kayak section in the team category, even if the landing isn't particularly dignified. They will swap Nicola for James for the upcoming bike stage.
This year the transitions will be very slick and very fast. And we'll sort of see if we can get them under 10 minutes in total. And it's literally going to be in, shove something down your throat. All you do is change your shoes. There's no change of other kit. So with the experience that we've got and the team we've got, I think we should be very quick through those transitions.
Team Accelerate have lost only 2 minutes on the water. This will be a race of narrow margins.
There's certain pressures around, so I think we need to perform quite well. So we'll all definitely give it our best. We've got quite high hopes actually for this race.
How high?
High enough. Hopefully in the top 3, 2, 1. I don't know. Yeah.
All the competitors make it to the beach at St Bees, but for some, it goes wrong right at the end. Over the years, New Zealand have dominated this sport much like they have the rugby world. While Kiwi Lynch leads the men's solo race, his compatriot Fiona McBride leads the women's.
I'll be giving it my best shot, and I really want to be up the pointy end of the field. There's some good competition in the ladies actually, so hopefully we'll have some good battles out there.
The experienced racer is just seconds ahead of Britain's Sally Azan at the end of the first stage. She was the newcomer to adventure racing that was part of the team that finished second in last year's event.
I'm solo this year, I'm on my own, so the reasons why, I think last year I was supported so much by those boys and they really did carry me through that whole race. And I come back this year and I thought, right, this is my chance now, this is where I am at, because last year I was the rookie, and so I don't know where I still fit in the scale of adventure racing, because I've always been supported by strong people. So by going solo this year, I can see where I'm at and see where I fit, and you know, am I just chasing a dream, or am I good at this? Who knows? We'll find out.
The next stage of the battle is a 14-mile bike to more kayaking at Buttermere. Azan is still chasing as McBride leads the women. Fellow New Zealander Lynch the men, and adidas TERREX with Cracknell and Duncan in the saddle are proving that they have the power both with the pedal and the paddle. More kayaking follows with a race across Crummock Water and Buttermere. The mile portage as they carry the boats between the lakes could be crucial, as will the transition before the stage.
Hey, how are we doing? Melt up, mate. Come on.
Difficult kayaking and drinking at the same time.
I like the front.
If she's not slick, McBride could easily throw away her lead right here.
Every time they change discipline, it generally requires a change of kit, getting some food, and if you're in a team, changing a team member. Good organisation throughout the race, absolutely essential. There are 13 transitions in all, and this is where the race can so easily be won and lost.
I'm good at transitions, that's probably one of my strengths. I don't like mucking about in transition. It's a lot harder to train to go a couple of minutes faster on a run, and it's so easy to lose 5 minutes in transition, so it's an easy way to make up time with a minimal effort.
Okay, it's early days in the race. Tell us where we are and what's happened.
Well, we're at transition waiting to go on the kayaks, and we're 10 minutes ahead of our support crew, so they've not arrived yet, so we have no kayak.
How do you feel about that?
Well, when you arrive at the transition point and your crew's not here, it's disappointing. Gutted actually, because we really worked hard up those hills.
Every team member has to complete at least one stage per day, which means there are tactical choices to be made. But no matter what they've planned, this outfit isn't going anywhere. They haven't got a boat, let alone a paddle. The leading teams, meanwhile, have finished the first lake and are carrying their kayaks to the second. Adidas TERREX have James and Nicola on this section, defending their narrow 2-minute lead over Accelerate.
How's the day going so far?
Yeah, it's good. It's been really evenly matched actually, so just trying to make the most of portage and not take any time over it, because it'll be the difference. The transitions might be the difference between these guys are strong on the hill, so I'm good.
Sure, maybe we should drag it. Just maybe put the rudder up.
The long portage is a clumsy, uncomfortable and somewhat painful experience, but Accelerate must stay in touch with the leaders.
Have you guys been getting on?
Yeah, good. Just trying to hold it together on the boat, and then we'll be looking forward to a big run. Yeah, Maria.
With their best phase, the run, coming next, the team will be glad that Adidas TERREX are still in sight on the second half of the paddle. The chase is on.
They're in your sight, guys. Just keep it steady.
Adidas TERREX know they have to extend their lead on Buttermere, and they do so, beating Accelerate by 4 minutes, only to risk losing it all again in the transition to the run.
Nicholas bringing it up. Nicholas dragging it. Nicholas dragging it up on the road.
Okay.
We had a problem in transition with the kayak. There's a bit of confusion about one teammate could lead the boat and the other one couldn't, so we had to go back and help out. It's just ridiculous.
James, do you have the tracker?
Yeah, I gave it to
Go back and help her and she'll be...
No, the Dibbo.
We lost 5 or 6 minutes in faffing, but that's what it's about. It's not about pure fitness or even technique. It's about getting the little things right. You know, from the background that I've done is when a guy says go, you hammer away, and then when he says stop, that's it. Whereas this is a much more fluid event.
It's not the kind of slick transition that they'd promised. For a team that knows you can lose the race in the changeover, it could be a costly mistake. Other teams are closing in. And it's all encouraging news for the running specialists, Accelerate.
About on the right-hand side. Go on, guys. Drop the bottom mat. We don't want that bottle with us. Drop it before we go out. So down it now.
In some ways, it's almost more like a triathlon than an adventure race. Like, for example, last year, the multi-day race, you're spending 20 minutes, half an hour in transition, trying to get some proper food down, you're staying warm. Whereas this is much more, anything more than a minute, and you're probably taking too long.
The penultimate stage of day one is 9 miles, with 600 metres of climbing up Robinson and descending via Cat Bells to the town of Keswick. Competition is fierce, but so is most competitors' passion for being out in this landscape.
The thing about these sports, these events, is they're outdoors. The outdoors is our playground. So for some people, they go up a mountain, it's hard work. For us, it's just a playground. That's what we enjoy, and it's the outdoors. That's what drives everybody, I think.
Lynch leads everyone, the New Zealander making England's Lake District his playground. It's awesome running from Lynch, as well as from the Halliday brothers. They've prepared well for this event, and this is payday.
We came down a fortnight ago to Recce and to have a run and do a couple of the bikes, so we're fairly familiar with the course, and I've been poring over the maps to make sure we have all the optimum route choices as well.
As day one nears the end, they've finally taken the lead.
We started pretty steady, kept our cool on the kayak and the bike early on, and then head out on the run just a few minutes down on the Adidas boys. We had them in our sights, saw them looking back, and caught them just before the top of Robinson. We were feeling good, running strong, started cramping a little bit over Dale Head and on the descent towards Cat Bells, but we held it together.
It's impressive to watch them fly down like you'd go down a gradual descent. It's a very different type of racing to anything I've done, adventure racing, that you think that it's kind of hard physical work of driving yourself up the hill is then a skillful descent, and I didn't have that. So these guys that are good at fell running are really supple and know where to tread, and rather than some lumbering idiot going down the hill, which is kind of what I was. It's a different thing to get your head around, is racing but then not racing flat out, because at times you're not racing flat out because you're going to injure yourself, and that's exactly the same running downhill. It's having made ground going up to then give it away going down, because you're not that good at running downhill. I've never done it before. It's just a little bit annoying.
For James and any other competitor finding day one hard, it's got a sting in the tail too. A 500-metre swim across Derwent water before the same distance on foot to the finish.
Freezing English water, man!
That freezing English water and fatigued muscles are the perfect recipe for causing cramp by the time they reach the far side. Lynch limps to the finish, while Fiona McBride loses the female solo lead in the water, struggling as Sally Azan swims by.
Well done, guys.
Run.
Dan Halliday already had cramp on the run. This won't help. He has to get moving to hold on to the lead. Adidas TERREX emerged from the water just a few minutes later.
Tell me about that swim.
Bruce, put your short. I can't, mate.
Next out of the water is Anthony Emmett, straight back into his stride and seemingly impermeable to the pain. It's a good finish from him, just 23 minutes behind Lynch on the day, but the Kiwi will be hard to catch on the remaining three.
That was hard. It went well, but didn't leave much behind.
Thanks to their running, Accelerate have left Adidas TERREX with a 14-minute deficit.
Well, it's been a tough day, but it was just a case of toughing it out to the finish, seeing what we could hold on for.
There are still 3 days to go, but the pre-race favourites in the team event will know they have competition now.
Absolutely whip it, so should be given weights to carry, but hey, it's another 4 days, it's got 3 more days to go, and I know that me and James can keep that pace for 4 days, no problem, and I'm hoping those boys will tire.
Sally Azan leads the women, her first solo race going as well as she could have hoped.
I was on Robinson's and I could see her quite a bit of distance, and red mist came down and I was like, right. So, and I just caught her just now, so she's not far behind.
So happy with the way it's gone?
Yeah, I'm just hoping these legs are going to be all right for tomorrow.
McBride is 5 minutes slower today.
I'm really happy. I was sort of stayed ahead of Sally for most of the day. We got to the end of the run and we had a little swim across the lake, and I got in and I cramped up as soon as I started swimming, so I just had to float on my back and give the legs a break, and she just powered on through. So it's nice to have such close racing. It makes it really exciting for us as well as everyone watching. I think we should have a good battle over the next 3 days.
Yeah, 1 down, 3 to go.
Yeah, 3 big ones to go. Today was the short day.
Coming up, day 2, the highest point of the race, the hurt of the biggest climb to get there, and the hardest descent to follow. Join us after the break as we take on the slopes of Helvellyn.
Rock on!
Welcome back to the Adidas TERREX Coast to Coast. They're already a quarter of the way into the event, but they're approaching the toughest and the most feared leg of all, the ascent of Helvellyn.
Day 2 begins in Keswick with a 5-mile bike ride and a 4-mile kayak to reach the start of the Helvellyn section. In the team event, Accelerate are wearing the yellow jerseys, but Bruce Duncan and James Cracknell of Adidas TERREX are straight down to chipping away at the 14-minute deficit.
Not too fussed about it at all. I knew they'd take a bit of time out of us yesterday. They're really fast on foot. You know, anything can happen. Keep going, keep plugging away, don't think about anybody else, just do our own race and go as hard as we can.
They're a strong team, you know, they've got a lot of experience there. We're certainly not writing them off, there's no chance of that. There's no need for us to push it harder than we did because, you know, we're lucky enough to have the advantage. It'll be a case of us having to stay strong and really fight all the way to the finish. So, it'll be a good race.
It's an impressive response from Adidas TERREX at the start of day 2, and with a slick transition, they're the first to hit Helvellyn, the 3rd highest mountain in England. There are 850 metres of ascent on the 7-mile stage.
I think we caught a few minutes, hopefully. We need them.
Adidas TERREX have won back 5 minutes in the first hour. Nicola has some recovery time while Accelerate's Halliday boys must deliver another fast run.
I think the guys will take a good bit of time out of them now on the mountain.
In the male solos, Stuart Lynch extends his 19-minute lead over Chris Hope at the start of the day. Amongst the women, the leader Sally Azan is taking on an equally determined Kiwi and has lost 11 minutes in the first 2 stages. If Sally is going to keep her yellow jersey on day 2, she needs a great run now. But each morning, the task of shaking the stiffness out of the joints gets harder and more painful for everyone.
Yeah, it hurts, definitely feeling it a bit after yesterday.
If you're into your outdoor sports, this is what it's all about, to come here, go mountain biking, running, sea kayaking, all in one fluid journey. In these 4 days, I've probably got 10 years of kind of camping and adventure holidays all packed into one long weekend. I mean, it's going to be fantastic, whatever happens.
This is the not so enjoyable bit. One leg in front of the other though, get to the top and that's all downhill.
It was the descents that cost so much time for Adidas TERREX yesterday, and they'll be very aware that every metre they climb today, they have to descend later. Even as they tackle Helvellyn's lower slopes, they can see the yellow jerseys in the valley below.
There they are. Yeah, I was hoping we'd be outside, not quite.
Dan and Matt still have enough air in their lungs to spare some for a chat with the cameraman.
That's the hard bit. Starting running when you've been walking for a bit is got to have it up here. We've got them in our sights now. Let's see another hill.
On the summit, the Lakeland weather prevents the competitors getting a view of the remaining 120 miles of the race, though perhaps their eyes need to be on their feet for the treacherous descent of Swirl Edge. A big effort from Sally Azan sees her win back 5 minutes on the climb and set up 2 more days of close racing with Fiona McBride. The Adidas TERREX and Accelerate teams are equally close as they contemplate the rest of the race.
The teams are now over the summit of Helvellyn, which of course is the highest point of the course. In theory, it's all downhill from here, but with 2.5 days and over 200 kilometres still to go, they know the worst is still to come. Join us next week to find out who survives the mountain and makes it all the way across the Yorkshire Dales and Moors to Robin Hood's Bay on the east coast.